This episode is in partnership with Authority Magazine. Authority Magazine, a Medium publication, is devoted to sharing in-depth and interesting interviews featuring people who are authorities in business, pop culture, wellness, social impact, and tech. One of the things I cherished the most during my 40 plus years in television was talking and interviewing kids.
And today we're going to do just that with a young man whose talents took him all the way to America's Got Talent.
And Lambros Garcia is only 10 years old. Lambros, welcome to Believe in People. You know, you have the distinction, the amazing distinction of being the youngest person we've ever had on Believe in People. Clearly, we believe in you. But the real question I have is, why do you love dance so much? What is it about dance that really gets you going?
I love dance so much because the music really hits my body, and then it just like a magnet, it just connects, and then I just take it away without anything, just start dancing around the whole place.
And that was you were really young, right, Lambros? Like were you in martial arts and you just kind of did your own thing, or how did that happen?
I was in martial arts when I was younger, and it wasn't really working out because there was a dance studio right next to it, which was kind of a bad idea to put there because I was there. And I could hear the music, and because it was really loud. And I started dancing instead of punching the walls. And I just started dancing, and my sensei would be like, "What are you doing? Punch the walls." Like, he would just get like a little bit frustrated.
Yeah. Well, you've gone all the way to America's Got Talent, right? How
Yeah.
have you got formal training behind your dancing, or is this coming from the
Yes.
heart, or both?
Yes. So I've gotten training since I was 6. I've been working with a dance studio, mostly Dance Academy, and I've been getting lots of training since we've heard the call from AGT. We've been training lots every day. And then when I actually got to the place, I trained also for 11 days with a choreographer that was there. And then when it came to the actual final performance, it happened.
Wow. Okay. So this is why I know listeners and our viewers really want to know. How did you get on the largest stage in the world? And you were a semi-finalist, season 18. Yes?
Yes. So I got on the biggest stage of the world because of Blake McGrath. A viral TikTok video and Instagram video went viral of me dancing in a dance convention, 24/7 dance convention. And he called me out because, he really liked my dancing out of 200 kids in one room. And he posted that one video on social media, and it just became viral. Celebrities started posting me on their stories, like Lisa Renna. Also, it was really good. I was so happy. And that's how I got onto the biggest stage of the world.
Wow.
And then AGT called us, and then AGT saw it, and one of their executive producers showed it to her executive producers, and then we had an interview, and then that's how I got it.
Well, I mean, a lot of people, let's talk about me for a little bit here. Okay, because of course, that's who I like to talk about the most. I can remember sitting around waiting to get that letter in the mail saying, "Oh, you got into this school," or "Oh, you got into that school," or waiting for the phone call to say, "Oh, you got this job," or "Oh, you got that job." I mean, Lambros, you must have been biting your nails down to the quick.
Yeah.
What was that feeling like when they said, "Okay, you're the man"?
Well, it felt really, really good. It was just it's like when you're like popping like a poppet, and it's just relief that you're doing it, and it just gets you like And it's just like, oh, finally you did it. And a big part of this dance life and this professional life is rejection, lots of rejection, because you don't know what people are looking for. But AGT, it looks like they liked me, and then I got to this point of my life, and
They loved you, Lambros, loved you. I mean, to the point, okay, so I have so many questions, but to the point where when you did your audition, I saw your first audition and you talked about school. You were really challenged at school, and I want you to share that. And then, wow, Simon Cowell says, I'll march down to your school and give them and then that changed everything. Tell us about that whole piece.
so lots of people have been giving me a really hard time in school just because I'm a dancer, which anyone could do anything they want, only if they put their mind to it. And they kept like coming back and forth at me, trying to like, they try to bring me down, and they were basically jealous. And that Simon told me that when people bully you, they're also kind of ashamed of themselves, but also it doesn't matter because I believe in myself, and I kept pushing myself to that point, and I got to this point.
Well, that was pretty good. I mean, of all the advice Simon Cowell has ever given, sometimes it's not, sometimes his advice isn't that friendly, you know. I mean, a lot of times it isn't. So I mean, it sounds like he kind of took you under his wing. What kind of, I mean, that must have had a tremendous effect on you.
Yeah, I was really shocked because Simon Cowell and um his opinions and things. But he's a really good judge, and he really pushes you to that point. Maybe sometimes things that he says are not nice, but he is a really good judge, and what he said to me was really, really cool, and I wasn't expecting that from him.
Hmm.
And how do you get past I mean, how many times did you perform live? No, not live, on TV?
I performed twice. Yeah, I performed twice.
Twice. Okay. Now, how were you feeling leading up to that? And how do you overcome the nervousness?
It's so when I'm nervous, I there's like one button in me that says like, "Oh, stop it. Stop being nervous. You got this." So I like if I picture this in my imagination, I just press it, and then I'm just like all the nerves come out of me and just fly away up in the sky.
So you're like 10, right?
Yeah.
So, okay. So you're not the only kid in the world that's probably been bullied or pushed around at school and
Yeah,
stuff
of
like
course
that.
not.
So,
No.
and you seem to have found a way to kind of overcome it because of your own confidence. What kind of tip, what advice would you have for another kid who might be listening to this who's going through the same thing?
My advice would be never let anyone stop your dreams, because anyone can get to their dreams, because everyone is so close, but only if you don't let others let them shatter your dreams, because it's like a video game when you're almost to that finish line, and then there's a big monster that's trying to hold you back, and it just keeps losing your points. That's basically the same thing as bullying, because lots of other kids have big dreams, and they want to like be on the biggest stage of the world like I am right now, which is amazing and it's such a blessing. And they want to be anywhere they want. And then
But they
these,
also want to pull you down.
yeah, of course, and other people want to pull you down and shatter your dreams. So never let anyone shatter your dreams, because everyone can do anything they want, only if you put your mind to it.
Wow. And Lambros, what about, did that take a while for you to kind of learn that?
Yes, it did take me a while, because lots of people every day really were like trying to push me down. And it just kept coming back to my mind like a DVD player. It just kept coming back to my mind. But every time when I was at dance, that really like pushed away like a piece of wind. And I really felt really happy with myself when I dance.
Well, I mean, and let's move on to something that's a little bit more positive, and that would be exactly that. When you dance, do you, I don't know, do you forget about everything, or is it just the pure joy of knowing that you love what you're doing?
Pure joy because it really shows every single genre of dance how much I've been working hard and how much I love dance. And it really proves the point that I can do this and that I'm a really hard dancer. I'm a really hard working dancer, but I only could do it because I put my mind to it and I believe in myself every day that I go to dance.
Because it's hard to do. And I mean, Lambros, what's your favorite genre? Do you have one?
Yeah, I do have a favorite genre. So my favorite genre is jazz. I love jazz because it's so sharp and clean. And I also like hip hop also kind of because it really it brings out all the styles of dance, all of them, like really all of them. And I basically like all genres, but if I had to choose one, I really, really like jazz.
Hmm. Well, I'll just tell you one revelation. It's the first time I've ever heard a 10-year-old use the word genre in a sentence. So maybe I've been living in a cave or something, Lambros. And now I get to ask the dad question, and that would be clearly, why don't you tell me what you want to do when you grow up, as if I don't know?
Oh, so, well, I would love to be a producer. I would love to be
Oh,
a producer for
Oh,
maybe like a show,
oh, you
and
shocked me.
or maybe like a host. And also, of course, I would love to also keep track of my dancing career life, and I would love to be in Broadway, and I would also love to have maybe my own show. And yeah, that's basically what I would love to do, but you never know, things could change, right?
for sure. But what's it about producing that you really like?
um I like producing because it's like when you're producing maybe like a show or like a TV show. I have a producer, and the producer really there have one, and I had one on AGT, and he was so sweet, and he was like always like pumping me up. He always came into my rehearsals and things to like get me started. He was like, "You're gonna do great." So, and I love giving people advice, and I also love giving people things, and yeah, that's why I want to be a producer.
Yeah. So I mean, when you're on America's Got Talent, you got to see all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes,
Yeah.
of which there's a ton. I mean, no, those hosts just don't show up once a week and sit there and go, thumbs up, thumb down. Um,
Yeah.
there's a lot going on, and I mean, how much prep? What'd you say? You were like in 2 weeks you had to prepare for that show? I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into that.
Yeah, I had 11 days.
You did, huh? That's cool.
What were your parents doing while you were doing that?
So my so we did kind of like a switcheroo thing. So like sometimes my dad would be in my rehearsal, and my sister, she, it's California, sometimes to have fun. So we would take her to the pool, and I would be in rehearsal. My mom would be with me, or my dad. And my grandparents were there, so they would also take her to the pool sometimes too.
I mean, where's the dance come from? Are your parents dancers, your grandparents?
The dance really comes from my mom.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, I think I took it from her. I did take it from her.
Uh,
She used to live on top of a dance studio, and she would dance.
Huh. Wow. And Lambros, your sister, does she dance with you?
No, no. She used to be a gymnast, but now she's a athlete. She's a soccer player.
So she's not in karate smashing the walls with her hands
Nope.
like like you're supposed to be doing.
No.
So I guess what's the reaction been amongst all the kids that you know now that you've been on there?
You
I mean, are
know,
you like a movie? It clearly hasn't gone to it hasn't gone to your head. You're not sitting there bragging about it or anything. You're
of
just
course
telling me.
I always say to myself, and my parents do too, I always say to myself, it's really cool and having the opportunity to be on the show, but you always have to stay humble because people are going to know if you're not humble, then people are going to know you as the kid who's rude, which I'm not a rude kid. And when I went back to school, everyone was like, "Oh my God, you're famous." And I'm just like, I'm not that famous. I was trying to stay cool and I was trying to stay like calm. And it was really like sweet because when I came on the bus for my first day since I came back to AGT, everyone was like chanting my name. It was so cool for all my friends and the bus driver and everyone in the school to support me.
That's amazing. And oh, friends. Did you make friends at AGT?
I did. I
the
made
best
lots
part.
of friends. That was one of the best parts of AGT, if that I one of the best parts of AGT. I made friends with Lavender Dark Angelo. She was also in there. Also, I also made friends with Bryn Cummings, the ventriloquist.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they were all really good. And also, I met lots of other people too. And it was just such a great experience. All the people and all the like staff workers and the contestants really made you like they made you ready. And I went to breakfast with the contestants in the morning. I also went to dinner.
Wow.
It was really cool. Yeah, it was really cool.
So it's not so much like what's that show where they all go on the island and then they all try to
The
they all try
survivor.
to
Oh,
yeah,
Survivor. They're like competitive with each other. They're like, winning.
yeah. So I mean, it wasn't like on Survivor where you're trying to do the other guy in. You were all helping each other.
We were actually like when I didn't make it to the next round, all of my contestants were like, I was so happy for them, and they were so sad that I didn't make it because all of them made it to the top five, and that's okay. There's so much other things for me, and all of them were so sad, and we were so happy with each other. We were all like we called each other and things after the show. Like, oh, and I still talk to them actually.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And it's so good to know because Lambros, do people, apart from getting a call, because I think that's probably fairly rare, how do people actually like go to the auditions? Like, how does that work? Do you know how that one part works?
If people actually want to audition, they have to actually go through at least three or more um rounds because to make it to that level is pretty hard, which I think they saw me on something which they really saw that I had. They really liked it. But
Wow.
I think you have to go through at least one round to go to the actual audition. But it doesn't really matter. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, thank you.
Wow. I'm still having a hard time getting over the fact you're only 10 years
I
old.
know. I know, right?
Listen, Lambros, how the heck can I get on that darn show?
You've been on a pretty big show for the last 40 years, NBC
Well,
News,
yes, that's
Mr.
true.
Tibbles.
That's true, but I'm not so sure I have the same kind of talent. I guess the thing, but your advice is if you set your mind to it and you work hard, then the chances are you're going to be able to achieve your dreams. And that, man, it's kind of good to have a dream, eh, Lambros?
Yeah. Yeah, and I can see you're adventurous. Are you adventurous?
Oh, by looking at me?
Yeah.
It's the beard.
Well, it looks like he's been like on. It looks like
On
I
Survivor.
I feel like you climbed Mount Everest or something.
Kind of something like that.
Yeah,
Just this
pretty
past week,
much.
actually.
Oh
Just
wow.
this past week. And it was, well, I wasn't on Mount Everest, but believe me, it was a challenge. Challenges, what do you think about challenges? I mean, they're,
Challenges are the way to like push yourself and the way to actually find out what you could do. Because, when I challenge myself a lot of times with different things in dance, and, sometimes you never know what you could do because lots of things are in you, and sometimes they just let out by one step.
Exactly. And I mean, and Lambros, one thing was amazing to me is that your semifinal speech, remember, I think was Terry asked you, what did this mean or what have you, or what do you have a message for other kids? And you just like, wow, you inspired the world with your message.
Yeah.
Don't give up on your dreams. I can't remember the whole thing, but you have such confidence. Is this like a huge family bond that you have? I mean, this is coming from something.
Well, the confidence really I was really a shy kid. I always wanted to put myself out there. I always wanted that chance, and I've always wanted to be on that stage, and always wanted the chance to actually be shown. And that happened, which I'm very grateful about, and I'm so happy that it happened. And I was very, very confident. And I'm kind of the lucky one because I get to dance with all the girls.
Okay, now I really want to be like you.
We're going to follow Lambros.
Lambros, every week on this little show, we ask the same question at the end of every week because it's a great question and we get such a variety of answers. That's fantastic. So we're going to ask Lambros, our star today, our man with America's Got Talent, our insider on America's Got Talent. Why do you believe in people?
I believe in people because anyone could do anything they want, only if you put your mind to it. And even when I mean everyone in this world has a talent. Everyone in this world has a talent. Every single person in this world. And I know that as a fact. That is a fact, and I believe in people because I've seen it, and I also believe in people because they believe in me.
Oh,
wow! Right?
Thank you so much,
Lambros. We're honored. Thank you so much. We'll be following you, and we are grateful. And thank your mom. She's amazing.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi, Angela.
Hi, Mom.
How are you?
We have to meet Angela. This is the strength behind Lambros. The dancer number one.
Yes, it's it's been a nice journey, and for me it's exactly what he said, being humble and speaking and kind of like composing yourself and showing good sportsmanship, because at the end of the day, that's what people want to see, that you're a good sportsman. He stood on that stage, he took the rejection and congratulated his peers and continued being a 10-year-old boy. Let's go to the pool. Let's go to Santa Monica. And I think that's what makes us proud,
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thanks for sharing your story.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so you can talk all day long about, kids are older than this or what have you. But I mean, that is a young man who's got both feet firmly planted on the ground, unless he's flying through the air.
Or dancing. That's
Exactly.
right. Exactly. And, and his message, his inspiring message that everybody has a talent and that we all have gifts that we should use. And so if anyone's feeling a little unsure of themselves, just listen to Lambros. He's a wise boy. And if you've enjoyed this episode of Believe in People, we encourage you to subscribe and get your weekly dose of hope. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.